Look, I'm just gonna say it. I was wrong. I spent 20 years trashing Enterprise. I called Archer a frat boy, I called him a Nepo baby, and I basically checked out mentally during those first two seasons. But I started a rewatch recently, and honestly, I think I owe Jonathan Archer an apology. Because compared to the whole mystery box, virtuous grandstanding mess we have been getting lately, Enterprise is actually, well, it's delightful. We really need to talk about why this show is finally getting its flowers in 2026.
I do not understand why humans find your rambling to be content.
So let's beam over to the early 2000s. I was one of those old guard fans who were just, I don't know, exhausted. We had TNG, DS9, and Voyager. And then we got this. A captain who seemed like he would rather be at a water polo match than on the bridge. And the whole Henry Archer's son thing? It felt like Starfleet's first real case of Nepo baby syndrome. He was entitled, he was grumpy, and he treated the Vulcans like the annoying babysitters.
Captain Jonathan Archer was the primary architect of the United Federation of Planets. His frustration with the Vulcan High Command was logically founded upon the systemic stagnation of human warp development.
Yeah, okay, sure. But then it felt like bad writing. Now, looking at it through a 2026 lens, it feels human. They did not know the rules yet. They were literally making it up as they went. It was rough, it was tumble, and it was honest. Unlike some of the stuff we have seen in the last years. And I'm looking at you, Discovery. I gave that show a full season, and then I was done. The Academy? I couldn't even finish the first episode. It was a big no. Now, here's where I will probably get a lot of pushback. The tipping point for me, the moment the characters kind of became real, was the Xindi arc in season 3. In those early seasons, they were just carbon copies of typical archetypes. It was dry, it was unoriginal, and honestly, it was a struggle to watch. And the way the show treated the Vulcans, that really rubbed me the wrong way. It was a big problem for me. It was like this weird, aggressive arrogance that honestly didn't make any sense. I actually checked out during one of the episodes. I think it was in season 2. It's the night in the sick bay. You know, the dog, the bathtub, the whining. That was the moment where I was like, this is ridiculous. What are we doing? I was done. I turned it off. I did not come back until Xindi showed up. But when I did, that kind of changed everything. Like I said, it was never a mystery box where we are waiting for some galaxy-ending threat that turns out to be a kid crying in a nebula. It was focused, high-stakes mission. It was gritty, it was dark, and it kind of forced them to grow.
The conflict necessitated a shift from exploratory protocols to defensive strategies. The moral compromises made by Captain Archer are statistically significant. It is also logical to note that Vulcan-human relations required significant friction to reach the stability seen in later centuries.
Look, I'm not saying it was perfect. The first two seasons still have some, let's call them questionable for frat boy moments. But compared to the downward spiral of Strange New Worlds in season 2, I mean, I liked the first season, it had potential, but the middle of season 3, I was just, you know what, I'm done. Unlike that, Enterprise actually got better as it went, and it had some spine. It's kind of wild that the only shows I have thoroughly enjoyed in the last decades are Lower Decks and Prodigy, both animations. Why? Because they actually love the lore. They're not trying to subvert it or fix it. They're just Star Trek. Rewatching Enterprise made me realize that even at its worst, it was still a Star Trek show. It had a ship, a crew, and a soul. Even the NX-01 itself. I saw those refits in Star Trek Online recently and it just triggered something. It is a beautiful ship. And it was kind of bread and butter of the early Federation. So yeah, I was wrong. Archer is not a bad captain. He's a pioneer who was out of his depth and had to grow a pair of warp nacelles real fast. The show is not a failure. It was a victim of franchise fatigue that was actually ahead of its time with serialization.
It is also statistically likely that human viewers are responding to the lack of mystery box fatigue present in 21st century broadcast structures.
Can you please let me finish? Anyways, yeah, he's right. For once. Look, though I have a very different lens watching Enterprise now, that does not mean I want some Star Trek United political thriller drama. I don't want a gritty series about Archer's kids navigating some intergalactic senate. I don't need the West Wing in space where Porthos's great-great-grandpuppy is lobbying for more cheese in the mess hall. We just need a Star Trek show. Anyways, if you have not revisited the Enterprise lately, give it a shot. You might find that the frat boy actually turned into a legend we all needed. Anyways, until the next time, M5, Ball Impulse, and engage.
Support the organic creator, like, share and subscribe.